Hello 102, my name is Brittany Teacher, and today we are going to do our Backpack 5 lesson. It is March 16th, 2020. Today we're going to use our Backpack Student Book and Homework Book. We are going to begin our Backpack Student Book on pages 68 and 69. But I do recommend reviewing pages 64 and 65. Because that story about body language, nonverbal communication, is what we're going to use to answer our homework book questions after we're finished with our student book. So please reread 64 and 65. You can pause the video and do that now, then hit play when you're ready to continue. Okay, In Touch, an online magazine for kids. Check it out. We're going to read about a very special gorilla. Talking gorillas? You bet! Coco the gorilla can use Gorilla Sign Language, or GSL. Go ahead and underline that sentence. Gorilla Sign Language, GSL. Who is Coco? Coco is an African gorilla. A scientist named Dr. Patterson taught her sign language. That's Coco. What is GSL? Dr. Patterson wanted to teach Coco American Sign Language, but gorilla hands are not like human hands, so Coco had to change some of the signs. Also, gorillas use some of their own gestures to communicate with each other. GSL is a mixture of ASL and gorilla gestures. Here's a picture of Coco making the sign for love. It's like this. Where does Coco live? Coco lives in California in a special forest with other gorillas. Scientists watch them to learn about gorillas. When does Coco use GSL? She uses it when she wants to communicate. Pretty cool. But if you go to a zoo tomorrow, the gorillas you'll see won't use GSL. Only Coco and her trained friends know this special language. Oh, that's pretty cool. So reread that story again by yourself, trying to make sure that you understand it and you can read everything. This week's opinion, goodbye to snail mail. I'm reading this part right here. In the future, no one will use snail mail. Why not? Everyone will want to use the fastest method of mail. That's email. No one will want to spend money on paper, envelopes, or stamps. Everyone will use a computer. It'll be easier to check your email than the mailbox. The best reason, no one will have to practice handwriting in school. What do you think? Remember last time we talked about writing your opinions on what will happen in the future. Here are some good examples of opinions about if snail mail will exist in the future. Snail mail is another name for when we're talking about writing letters. This opinion is saying that no one will write letters in the future anymore for all of these reasons. Okay, let's go to the next page. Fun and games. What's black and white and red all over? Unscramble the letters to find the answer to the riddle. Okay, see if you can find that out. If you know it, tell me. Learn to speak in code. A code is a great way to share secret conversations with your friends. Here's how. Take the first sound in a word and put it at the end. For example, word changes to ordwa. Add a to the end. Ordwa, ordway. Aste ulke. What do you think she's saying? Aste ulke. This is also called Pig Latin. It's another way to just change the words around or the sounds around so that you can have your own language. Be a code breaker. How? Read to find out. Now you can write secret letters with your friends. Write out the alphabet. Under it, write the alphabet again, starting with the letter C. Make sure each letter on top lines up with a letter on the bottom. The bottom is your code alphabet. To write a message, use the code alphabet letters that line up with the real letters. The word hide will be JKFG. Use the code to read a message. AGU means yes. Actually, Codes like this are pretty common. A lot of the time, countries in war use codes like this to send secret messages to spies in a war zone. If you want to create a secret code, that's a fun way to try it. Okay, keep your student book open to this page, and now let's open our homework book to page 67. Page 67, we're going to answer questions about the body language story that we read and the gorilla story we read, okay? Number 1, what is body language? Remember, when we answer these questions, we answer in a complete sentence. So you need to tell me body language is, and then give me the answer. We learned about body language on page 64. Do you remember? There's a definition for body language up here somewhere. So reread it, find it, and write it in the blank. Body language is. Number 2, what does a thumb pointing up mean in the USA? You need to answer in a complete sentence. So you will say, a thumb pointing up means blah, 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 blah. Use your story where they're talking about thumbs to tell me the answer. Number 3, what language do most deaf people use? Most deaf people use blah, blah, blah. Okay? Number 4, what does the X flag of a ship mean? The X flag of a ship means blah, blah, blah. 2, student book pages 68 and 69. This is where we learned about Coco the gorilla. Who taught Coco the gorilla sign language? Blah, 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 blah taught Coco the gorilla sign language. Find the answer in the story we just read. Last, what is GSL? Guys, I told you to underline that sentence in the beginning of the lesson. So if you underlined it, you already know the answer. You will begin your sentence by saying, GSL is blah, blah, blah. Okay? Thank you for watching today's lesson. We are finished. I will see you next time. Bye.